All right, everybody, good evening to you. Happy Wednesday, rather, here. I'm Savannah Louie at the Atlanta News First Alert Desk. Can you tell that this week has just been dragging for me? I don't know about you guys. Maybe it's because of the hot weather, the hot temperatures. I think maybe all of us are going a little bit crazy here. But I want to welcome you in. We have our top 5 stories for this evening. And we're going to start here with some breaking news. This out of Roswell in Fulton County here. I know I usually show you some video. Unfortunately, we don't have any of this scene yet because it is developing. But I just wanted to give you guys the rundown. If you are in Roswell, you see smoke in the area. We're told right now by authorities that about a third of an acre has burned. This over at Roswell Mill on the national park side of the river upstream of the dam. So if you see smoke in the area, this is where that fire is coming from. Right now the cause is under investigation, but this is in the national park area. Now, there is no threat to any buildings or structures at this point because it is in the woods here. But we do know that Georgia DNR, Department of Natural Resources, is bringing in a helicopter for a water drop here just to try to mitigate some of the damage from this brush fire. Again, happening in Roswell. An investigation is underway into why this occurred and what started the fire. Unfortunately, that's not the only bad news involving a fire that we're following today, and this is really the story of the day here. Coming out of Sandy Springs, pretty close by here, over in Fulton County, dozens of families displaced. I want to go ahead and show you some images here of that apartment complex where flames engulfed the building earlier today. Dozens of people now without a place to call home. The apartment building, again, completely destroyed. You can see here some of these compelling images. This is over at Azalea Park at Sandy Springs Apartments on Cedar Run. We showed you video earlier of authorities trying to put out this blaze. And earlier this afternoon, Atlanta News First spoke with the Sandy Springs fire chief, who says that because this building was built decades ago, it's actually not required to have sprinklers. They must have some sort of smoke detectors and fire extinguishers, but again, no sprinklers were required. A certified building inspector examined the apartments within the last month, and they did find several violations here. We're now working to learn what those were. Our Tori Cooper is following this story very closely for us tonight. She is getting us those answers. And I know she's also spoken to some families who are grappling with this major loss. So she will bring us their stories later this evening on Peachtree TV at 9 and 10 and WANF Atlanta News First at 11 o'clock tonight. Again, that's going to be Tori Cooper's story for this evening. Now, on the other side, other direction of Metro Atlanta, we're following another issue with a building and damage. I want to go ahead and pull up some images here. This is out of Henry County in Stockbridge, where a partial building collapse has occurred. What I'm showing you right now, this is pictures from our website, Atlanta News First. You can see part of that building even collapsing on the car. This happening again in Stockbridge on North Henry Boulevard, about 30 minutes south of Atlanta. Now, the good news is here, despite all this damage, no one was hurt, except for that car in the parking lot, but no person was actually hurt. Everybody is being asked to stay away from this building, though, until crews can stabilize the situation. We'll continue to keep you updated on this. We do have a crew, I believe, who is there right now getting the latest information, speaking with some of the other folks in the area who may have witnessed or who may be impacted by this building collapse. Again, it seems like there's been quite a few issues with certain buildings in our area today. And we're just hoping that everybody stays safe out there tonight. All right, I want to bring to you another story. This is a quick update on something that made national headlines today. And it started here in Atlanta. A plane left Atlanta's Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport, heading for Charlotte, North Carolina, when all of a sudden they made an emergency landing, a very safe but scary landing for this Delta flight at Charlotte Douglas International Airport. The Delta flight from Atlanta belly landed on the runway when its nose gear wouldn't come down. passengers on board were terrified. We do have video of them, which we will be showing on air on Atlanta News First later this evening, of those passengers bracing for that landing. Good news here, no one was hurt. Kind of surprising when you hear about the incident. I know it's certainly scary. There were 96 passengers on board. And again, we are very thankful that they are doing all right. All right, final story I have for you tonight is actually a really exciting update from all of us here at Atlanta News First. You have probably heard us mention our St. Jude Dream Home giveaway. We have talked about this beautiful home. I'm going to show you the home right now. Beautiful home. And the reason why we're talking about this home, well, it's because for the past several weeks, we have been working to raise money to help out St. Jude Children's Research Hospital and all of the good that they do. And part of our initiative was, okay, if you reserve a $100 ticket, you have the opportunity to win this beautiful $650,000 home. This over in Beaufort, in the Gwinnett County area. Anyways, the reason I'm bringing this up is because today, just about an hour ago, a little over an hour ago, we finally sold out of our tickets. And those last final tickets went by fast. If you want to check out the St. Jude Dream Home for yourself before we announce our big winner, those open houses will be held every weekend between July 8th and 30th. The house will be open from 9 a.m. until 5 p.m. Saturday and noon to 5 on Sunday. There are also some other prizes. Many of you, if you participated, are eligible to win, including a $10,000 gift card to Georgia Furniture Mart, a 2023 Dodge Hornet, a Delta Vacation, and a Target gift card as well. And we are going to announce the winners during our live St. Jude broadcast August 3rd at 7 p.m. Hopefully, you guys can all join us for that. And for everybody out there who reserved a ticket and who was part of this really special initiative, thank you for being a part of it and for joining us and for making a difference in some of these families' lives. It's something that I know means a lot to a lot of people here in our newsroom. It's an organization that really falls close to a lot of our chests here. So thank you so much for all that you've done. I love being able to end things on a happy note here. Thank you for joining us. And with that, I know I usually show a picture of the skyline before I toss it over to our meteorologist, but we're doing things a little different today because I forgot. I forgot to pull up the picture of the skyline. So this is what you're getting instead.
Womp womp. It's not bad. It's a nice sunny drive home. Everyone having their AC probably on blast.
Probably.
Right now.
And one of the reasons why I love having First Alert meteorologist Cutter Martin here with us is because he's always the optimist. And
sometimes.
I feel like this could be pouring rain, traffic cam, barely see anything, and you would be like, oh, well, what a nice drive out in the rain tonight. Yeah. Anyways, Cutter Martin, though, has more on your forecast and a number of first alerts here.
Yeah, big heat and what could be a few stormy, afternoons, evenings around this time as we get into the weekend and early next week. It's not going to be a total washout by any means, but a classic setup, kind of like what we had last weekend where, it's very hot in the afternoon and you have a lot of sunshine, and then all of a sudden, very quickly, that kind of changes as we get into the latter half of the afternoon and the evening. Think back to last Sunday. It was so warm. It was so sunny, and then what seemed like, if you weren't a meteorologist, of course, like that, out of nowhere, showers and thunderstorms returned to the forecast. They swept through. They brought some big wind, lots of lightning and thunder, and some heavy rain, knocked out power, knocked down some trees, unfortunately, and not that we're necessarily going to see those same issues creep up once again, but I do think there is the possibility as we get into this weekend that we could see at least a handful of showers and thunderstorms redevelop across North Georgia and really much of the southeast, and in some cases these storms could form to our north and then very quickly shift to the south, targeting our afternoon and evening plans across North Georgia. We'll lay out the scenario in greater depth here in just a moment. First, though, outside right now, not too bad. It's hot, yes, but not as hot as it was. 87 in Rome right now, 87 Hartsfield Jackson Atlanta International Airport. We reached 90 today, 89 yesterday, so that climb towards the mid-90s, it's already underway. It has begun. Upper 70s, by comparison, much cooler up in Blairsville, a little bit more pleasant up in that area. And what you're going to notice the next few days is that high pressure kind of going to have a greater impact, greater control of our forecast. And here's the layout. Notice how over the Texas area, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Louisiana, they had been dealing with a lot of storms. Ridge shifted out of Mexico, now centered over the southern plains, the mid-south. And notice how there's a lack of rain underneath it. And then around that ridge of high pressure, you can see showers and thunderstorms developing in New Mexico, shifting off to the north and east. Showers and storms developing over the Midwest, shifting to the south and east. That's the flow of storms, rain and storms around this ridge of high pressure, what we call a ring of fire convection. Think about the ridge as sinking air, lots of sun, not as many clouds, no rain, and then around it you kind of have a pinwheel of showers and thunderstorms developing and moving along that clockwise flow that is the ridge of high pressure. And it's that setup as this ridge kind of shifts around that'll not only bring us hotter weather, but also that occasional risk of showers and thunderstorms. Overnight tonight, pretty calm. Few clouds. Yeah, it's possible, but I think more stars than anything else. Could be a few clouds tonight and maybe some patchy fog, maybe, but not anything that's going to impact the morning commute or slow you down or anything like that. Temperature slow to cool, 82, 10 p.m. That's in Atlanta, a little cooler, further outlying, a little quicker. 73 by 4 a.m., 72 by 6 a.m. High temperatures tomorrow in the 90s, but morning temperatures, yes, cooler, but still not all that cool. 71. In Atlanta, 59 up in Blairsville, many waking up to mid and upper 60s. That is, of course, a little bit milder than it has been the past couple of days where we managed, 69, 70 in the city. I think it's going to be hard to fall below 70 tonight into tomorrow morning. But by comparison, much more comfortable than it will be tomorrow afternoon, and that warming up process begins pretty early in the day. By 9, 10 a.m., we're already cracking 80 degrees. Here is that Thursday morning hour-by-hour forecast. Lots of sunshine. 82 by 10 a.m., 85 by 11 a.m., upper 80s by noon. Some could be right at 90 by 12 p.m. the lunch hour, so if you do have lunch plans, but when you get the inside table, it's going to be pretty toasty. With temperatures tomorrow peaking in the low to mid-90s. That's going to be the common theme across the area. Heat tomorrow, mostly dry, lots of sunshine, at least through the middle of the afternoon. 95 your high temperature, that's your forecast in East Point. City South Fulton, 95, 94 Stell, Douglasville, 93 Smyrna. Also notice Sandy Springs, Alpharetta, Marietta, Northside, lower 90s. You get into the core of the city, though, it's going to be a little hotter. 94, 95, pretty common. 92 in Beaufort, 95 Stone Mountain, Lithonia, South DeKalb, Panthersville area. Getting down into Clayton County and Henry County, back into the mid-90s. Trying to get outside, take the kiddos, or maybe even yourself, to the local neighborhood park, going to Chastain or Piedmont tomorrow, or just your neighborhood's park, hitting the playground with your kiddos. It will be hot. UV indices, too. Let's not forget about that. The UV index tomorrow will be very high to extreme, levels 10 and 11, so make sure you are not only applying, but then reapplying sunscreen for any extended outdoor activity like swimming, heading to the playground, even the runs, the yard work, whatever you're trying to do that. Apply and reapply your sunscreen. Thankfully, humidity being kept in check tomorrow, so not much of an extreme heat index tomorrow. It will feel like what the thermometer says in the afternoon, but as we get into Friday, Saturday, Sunday, more humidity in the air, a greater difference between the air temperature and what it feels like outside. Hour-by-hour forecast. Again, tomorrow, we're going to have storms form to our north, flowing around that ridge of high pressure we were just analyzing here for you. Forecast model showing these showers and storms completely falling apart Thursday late afternoon into evening as they approach the mountains of North Georgia, but still something we'll be watching out for tomorrow. Do those storms, a couple of them, make it a little further south? Slim chance, something we'll be monitoring Friday, Saturday, Sundays when the chance of rain gets a little bit greater. Also tomorrow, and related to this ridge of high pressure as well, code orange air quality alert. Unhealthy air quality for children and people with respiratory issues like COPD, asthma, emphysema, and other things, in that respiratory family. Late afternoon, early evening will be the worst of the conditions, so maybe after sunset, better to exercise, or earlier in the morning. Again, unhealthy levels of ozone. That high-pressure ridge kind of trapping clouds, keeping them from growing, but also helping to keep any ozone or other pollutants and particulates kind of trapped at the surface, too. So it may look a little hazier tomorrow as well. Here is that extended forecast next 7 days as we get into the long holiday weekend. Keep an eye on that storm chance in addition to the heat. 96 Friday, 97 Saturday, 93 Sunday. Notice temperatures, the actual numbers there, not too much hotter than tomorrow's 95, but there will be more moisture in the air, more humidity. So that 97 could feel more like 102, 105, and that 93 Sunday could feel like 99, 102. So be watching out for that possibility. Just a 20% chance of showers and storms Friday, but we're watching it. And then be alert to a greater chance of storms along with the heat Saturday, Sunday. Right now, hopefully, look up Atlanta going on without a hitch, going on rain-free, but we will need to keep an eye out on that possibility. And certainly the first alert weather team will be for a few evening showers and thunderstorms rolling through. Monday before Independence Day, we're going to keep that scattered rain chance. Same thing for Independence Day. So any local fireworks going on those days or your own grilling and celebrating plans. Scattered showers and storms, mainly in the afternoons, early evenings. But hey, temperatures come down a little bit with more clouds. High pressure kind of out of the picture just a little bit more by then, and more moisture in the sky, of course. Showers and thunderstorms. That'll help keep temperatures down just a little bit as we get into our Monday, Tuesday, Independence Day, and then on into next Wednesday. I want to remind you, if you have any weather questions, comments, concerns, feel free to give me a holler. Cutter Martin, CutterMartin on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, any social media platform, not just myself, but First Alert Chief Meteorologist Jennifer Valdez, Meteorologist Ala Dorsey, Fred Campagna, Rodney Harris, Patrick Pete, Courtney Jacobazzi, and myself, all here to answer your questions as we get into this very pivotal holiday weekend, Independence Day. Give us a holler, ask us your weather questions, comments, concerns. I want to thank you for watching, for tuning in. Reminder, we are back on TV here in actually less than 45 minutes. Peachtree TV, Atlanta News First on Peachtree TV. We'll be back here in just a little bit. Also, we're back for a 10 o'clock hour. And then back on WANF at 11 p.m. You can always get that First Alert forecast as well at atlantanewsfirst.com and in the First Alert weather app. Have a great evening. Stay cool. Enjoy this long holiday weekend coming up.